بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. بسم الله نبدأ وعليه نتوكل وبه نستعين وهو الركن الشديد. الحمد لله الواحد الفتاح فالق الإصباح، أحمده حمدا كثيرا طيبا مباركا فيه، وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له، وأشهد أن سيدنا محمدا عبد الله ورسوله، إمام المتقين وسيد الأولين والآخرين، عبد ربه حتى أتاه اليقين. اللهم صل وسلم وبارك على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. أما بعد. We meet again during a particular Friday that we all wished that we can do it at the masjid, but it happened that it is done in this way. So this is a Khatira, and inshallah after I finish this Khatira, you can get ready yourself and pray for Rak'ah Salat al-Zuhr. I will focus today, same as any other speaker is focusing all over the United States, if not all over the world, the issue of racism. So I like to do some analysis and see how we Muslims can benefit and learn from our deen. In particular, when our deen is put to test in face of daily life, normal life, difficulties, everything. So we all are thinking with the incident that involved this innocent man, George Floyd, who paid a dear price. His life, he lost his life because of ignorance and the prejudice and racism. And I say that comfortably because, I watched the video, all of you did the same. And, I started throughout the process of this video, I started to cry. Tears came from my eyes. I tell you why. Not just this is an act of oppression, but also I didn't know that a human being can have this power to kill another human being. Because the man was saying, I can't breathe. It means there is a risk of this man would lose his life. And I see a human or a police officer who was supposed to care about us. And I see his brutality of insisting, not moving away and letting this person live peacefully. But he died. But he did not die peacefully, George Floyd. He died as a result of human negligence. So with the issue of racism, this is the other thing that, we've been addressing. Is it part of the nature of every human? Yes, I tell you, it is part of the nature of every human. It comes in different forms. It means, when I say the nature, it means you have to fight hard to rid yourself and clean your soul, clean yourself. The way, if you see this pandemic disease, and years ago, I used to hear Muslims saying, "Oh, why do we need to make wudu with that? The people back in old days lived in the desert and dusty and that, and they needed to do cleaning. Why do I need to clean my why do I need to do a wudu?" And suddenly this pandemic disease came, and suddenly I went to the supermarket to buy some cleaning stuff, and I couldn't find. People suddenly discovered that cleanliness is part of their life, same as it is part of our. But cleanliness is the outside, cleaning the body. Racism is cleaning your soul, cleaning the soul from racism, from prejudice, the way we deal with people. So I'd like to take you in a short trip to see how Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam, how he lived his life, and not just from the time he received the revelation of the Quran, even from his childhood. And as Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam grew up, we can see something very particular in his personality. So Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam practically dignified the black people. And look at this here. After the death of his mother, at the age of 4, who cared for him? An Ethiopian woman, her name is Ayman, took care of him. So as he grew up, he respected her like his own mother, and she became a family member. And in his life, we can see that he adopted a black slave boy, Zaid, and he was known in the beginning as Zaid, son of Muhammad. And then later on, it was known as Zaid, son of Haritha, to follow his father. So Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam raised him like his own son. Now, after his wife Khadija radiallahu ta'ala anha passed away, he married a black woman. Her name was Sauda bint Zam'a. And in addition, at the beginning of Islam, when Bilal, an Abyssinian slave, embraced Islam, his master persecuted and humiliated him. And Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam paid very high price to free him. And Bilal became a dear companion, dear Sahabi of the Muslims and of Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Why? You can see here that there is action. Okay, it is when you make an action, you want to give a lesson. The concept here that Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam, he wanted the people to understand that there is no seat reserved for any for any member of the Muslim faith. No seat. A Muslim is a Muslim, and all Muslims enjoyed equality. That's the good lesson that Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam gave to all Muslims. How? Not just in Mecca, but in Medina also, and in particular, maybe now you can understand the concept of building a masjid. Let's look at the way Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam organized his masjid. First, you can see that no seat reserved for any dignity or VIP in the masjid. At the time of prayer, rich and poor, white and black, educated and layman, all stand together. At the annual pilgrimage, Muslims from all over the globe gather in Mecca. They speak different languages, but perform all rituals together. And when this divine ordinance of Islam is fully implemented in a practical form, then there will be no space for oppression or suppression. And clear also from there that the concept of choosing people of Allah has no basis in Islam. Anyone who does righteous deeds with full conviction and piety becomes beloved to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Of course, why you may not like what I said, that is part of the nature. Yes, it's part of the nature. I'm going to get into action and relate some stories, you know, how when Muslims declared their Islam and followed Islam, they started to learn, but gradually. But it was in their mind, many behavior that they used to do during the time before Islam. So let's go to the story of Bilal. And as you know, it is he was an Ethiopian slave and later gained his freedom as he declared his Islam. And when Mecca became under the rulership of Muslims, and upon entering the sacred house, Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam asked Bilal to climb on the roof of the Kaaba and raise the first time azan, as we know. So what happened here? Bilal started to get ready to do the task. But the task or the office of calling Muslims to prayer at that time was considered to be a position of honor in the early days of Islam. That's how people thought. Thus, when Bilal started to get ready, this particular incident triggered a serious objection by a Muslim who happened to be a proud Arab. He painfully cried out, "Oh, this black Negro slave, woe to him! How dare he stands on the roof of the Holy Kaaba to call for prayers?" So it was an outburst, smacking of pride and prejudice, both of which Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam aimed at eliminating. So, like, you can preach, you can make lecture, but you need action. This particular incident created a certain action that Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam needed to solve this particular problem. So Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam is known that he delivered a sermon in which he said, Allah is to be praised and thanks for having rid us of the vices and the pride of the days prior to Islam. And he used the term Jahiliyyah, that's the Arabic term. Before Allah, now he continued his sermon, people consist of only two groups. One of those groups is that of the pious people who are honorable before Allah. And the second group is that of the transgressors and the sinners who are the deprived in the eyes of Allah. Otherwise, all human beings are the progeny, the children of Adam, and Allah has created Adam of clay. This is the fact of Adam should create a wake-up call for all of us. Adam, all of us from Adam, one person. So it means we were born equal, and we need to continue understanding that. And not just Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam stopped right there, but also in his farewell sermon, we can see him using this term, or people. Your Lord is one, and your Father is one, Adam. An Arab has no superiority over non-Arab, nor a non-Arab has any superiority over Arab, or white has no superiority over black, nor does black have any superiority over white, except by piety and righteousness. All humans are from Adam, and Adam from dust. So he repeated the same as he said before, to make sure that Muslims understand fully the danger of racism, that racism can divide the people, can create disruption. People won't be able to live peacefully. And if we looked at the incident of George Floyd, we can see protesters all over the United States, and unfortunately, some people behaved wrongfully by breaking, smashing, looting, and all these things. So we can see that life can become different unless we learn how to handle ourselves. Another short story here, which many of us are aware of it, but I like to mention it again, is the same when Abu Dhar, who is a well-known companion, and Bilal. So you can see that Bilal played an important role in combating racism in Islam. So Bilal had a dispute with Abu Dhar. And Abu Dhar is not, don't look at Abu Dhar as a simple man. He is from Ghifara. So he's Al-Ghifari. He was an influential leader of his tribe. So don't think that educated people cannot be racist. No, even educated people, unless they fight themselves very hard to learn the meaning of equality, they can fall into this trap. So Abu Dhar had a dispute with Bilal. And they started to shout at each other. As you know, argument can start shouting, and then shouting can become serious matter. So Abu Dhar was carried out by the dispute. So he said to Bilal, Yabna Sauda, son of a black woman. It's similar here how, in old America, they used to say Negro. Same thing. He said, Negro, son of a black woman. And you see here, the incident the way Bilal behaved should teach us a lesson, a great lesson. You know, Bilal did not start cursing Abu Dhar or turning the dispute into physical fight, but he simply withdrew. He remembered that there is a law and order. And that's the thing here, that whenever we are exposed to racism, we need to make sure that we have law and order, strong stand that people can get help from. So Bilal took his complaint to the highest court, to Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam, and related to him. He trusted his leader. Trusting leaders somehow, maybe something important to understand that if you have a case, fight it hard as much as you can. And you have to trust the justice system, because that's the only way. Otherwise, people will fall into physical fight and destruction. So Bilal went to our Rasul and he related to him, and the Prophet was very upset. So imagine now a person from Ethiopia and another one from an influential tribe, Ghifara. He never looked at the situation of, this is from important society, and the other one from a stranger. So he looked at Abu Dhar and said to him, Abu Dhar, you said to him, son of a black woman, Yabna Sauda, he said, you still have some of the bad habits of the era before Islam. إنك امرؤ فيك جاهلية. Islam was supposed to cleanse you 100%, but not 100%. And Abu Dhar listened. No, he was a great companion. So he listened to Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam. But you know, sometimes how when you behave with racism, and you can say, oh, okay, I just apologize. Yes, in the mind of Abu Dhar, he wanted to apologize from Bilal. But apology, he did not find it is sufficient enough. He placed his head on the earth. He said, I will not be happy until you step with your foot on my face so that I can learn my lesson the hard way. And of course, Bilal never did that, but he accepted the verdict of Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam, and he felt that Abu Dhar is sorry for what he did. So if we Muslims, you know, we have great history. If you are looking at the religion, we have so many things in our religion that we can learn. And to tell me that, oh, we Muslims, we do not behave with racism, I doubt. Sometimes some of us would behave like racism, and sometimes you find the Arabs want to be to themselves, and the non-Arabs want to be by themselves, and then the the non-Arabs now being of different nationalities, every nationality want to be by itself, and the Arabs being different nationalities. Each group wants to have its own gathering, its own masjid. And alhamdulillah, I look at the Islamic Center of Wayland, I'm proud of this center, because I look at the congregation. It's a mixed congregation. The people who started the center and who still maintaining the center, you can find them Arabs and non-Arabs of all nationalities. They work together, they work in peace, they work in harmony. So yes, but we still have this sort of hidden racism that we need to work on it. And I know that once parents complained to me that their daughter wants to marry from different nationality. Their son is marrying a girl who's a different color, and they take it serious and they threaten their children. And without looking at the qualification of the partner, or the potential husband, or the potential wife. So what you do, Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, this is in at the end, I ended with this. He said, Al-Muslimu mir'atu akhi. It means like, look at the mirror. If you see your face, there's something wrong with you. If you see the face of others, you are okay. And you treat the people the way you want the people to treat you. Here how we say Islamophobia and this and that, we feel that people are labeling Muslims, all Muslims together. So never label people. I remember once I was visiting a patient from overseas, and I asked him, how you doing? It was at Mass General Hospital. How are you doing? He said, I'm very upset. So after the operation is done, and he said, imagine they brought me an Indian doctor, and we have plenty of them back there. And if I want, I came to the United States to seek the help of high medical doctors, and then I find that they get me an Indian. And I told him, what's wrong with the Indian? So it is in the mind. It is in our mind sometimes. Labeling people, considering all people wrong. And we tell the people, he said, oh, not all Muslims are bad. Not all Muslims are terrorists. There are Muslims who are good Muslims. Then that's what you need to behave. That's the way you behave. Not all people are the same. It is true. There are crooked people today around us, but you do not paint every group or a certain group, paint them together in one brush or one color. There are good people always of different color, different race. And there are people who behave wrong. And the law at the end, that's where we need to establish the society of law and order and justice, the way Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam used to do during his lifetime. I pray that may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guide us all to his sirat al-mustaqim. We ask Allah to have mercy upon us and upon this ummah, this society, this nation, to bring relief to to all of those across this world for facing so much a heartache, hardship, and pain. And may Allah bring them relief, ease, and tranquility. And I pray that may Allah accept our devotion and dedication, and may Allah grant us safety and protection, and may Allah forgive us, as there is no one to wipe out the sins except Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the creator. And أسأل الله في هذه الساعة الفضيلة أن يشملنا جميعا بالرحمة والمغفرة ويصلح نياتنا وذرياتنا. والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. And please get ready, prepare yourself for Salat al-Zuhr.
Thank you, Imam Eid, for your powerful khatira. Inshallah, we will all reflect on your words and fight to rid ourselves of the prejudices within us and listen and learn. ICB is committed to fighting against racism. I ask everyone to have conversations within your family and inshallah improve ourselves. Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Thank you, Imam Eid.
Thank you.